Okay, we're recording. Look at the camera, look at the camera. Hi guys, I am making you a video today. It's been a while since I made a video. I wanted to share some things I noticed in your courseworks in general, the practice courseworks. I wanted to give you some feedback, but I thought I would try to do it in a video. One, because that's an efficient way for me to communicate with you, but also to kind of give you some ideas of things I do with video. I want you to get better at using video. I want you to think about what it means to make a video and how you do that. And I wanted to share with you things that I do. So today I did something new. I got an iPad. And the reason I got an iPad was not really to make the video, but it was to take some notes. Later in this video, I think, I'll show you some notes that I've recorded that I wanted to add in here. But I also noticed that this iPad Pro, which I got from IT down on the 4th floor, it has a much better camera than my laptop. My laptop has just a terrible little webcam at the top right there. Just so you know, this is what it looks like from my laptop. And I hate using it, and this has a much better camera. But maybe you can notice this one hard thing about filming with an iPad is the camera is over here to the side, and you really want to look at the screen. But when you look at the screen, it's a little off kilter. So I'm training myself to look at the camera to help you have a better video. That's really hard, I'll tell you that. But also, then I needed a microphone because I have headphones that I use for a mic, but they only plug into my computer, not this. I got a microphone. Again, your tuition dollars paying for all this equipment that you guys can use. So everything that I'm using right now, this iPad, the microphone, came from NYU. You can check this out too, just like me. So I got some new equipment and kind of a new setup, right? I'm recording on an iPad with a microphone that I'm going to do some cool things with some screen recordings that you'll see in just a minute. But again, as you're thinking about making your video, as you're doing flip grids, as you're just doing stuff, I encourage you to try new things as you're recording video. And that's what I'm doing here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, look at the camera, look at the camera. Okay, so I watched the video and a couple of things I want to tell you about it. One, the shot that you can see in the video is a little bit different than what I actually see, which is just kind of interesting. I believe you can see this microphone. I can't see it on my screen. It doesn't show up. So just something that you can figure out as you test for that. The other thing is, I've done this about 5 or 6 times now. I've spent about probably over 2 hours working on this video, which is now about, 2 minutes long. Some of that was getting equipment. It was trying things and failing things, seeing what things look like. I tried to do this thing where I would record the audio on my laptop, the video on the iPad, another video over there, mix them all together. I don't know how to do that very well yet. I've never done that. I thought it would be easier than it is. It's always harder than you think it will be, but it's still fun. So I've still learned a lot. I like this microphone a lot. I like the iPad. I think I'm going to use this in the future. I've had to figure out how to successfully airdrop things to my laptop. That wasn't working. Stuff takes forever, but that's part of doing with video. And the more you do, the better you get, but then you try to do new things. And I want you to try new things, and I hope you do that, but it does take time. Be prepared for that. Okay, now let's talk about your courseworks. Now, let's talk about your courseworks. Also, just for a note, like how I edit this, I'll say things over and over and over and then cut out the stuff that I don't like. Now, let's talk about your courseworks. Let's talk about your courseworks. Okay, first of all, the prompt was to ask you for you to summarize the takeaways you have got from this unit's discussion on platforms. And clearly there are 2 important things in there. One, clearly there are the different sources we have used, right? So we had, in the platform unit, we had Burgess and Wang and Lobato, right? Speaking about platforms in general. We, of course, also had Strangelove and Lu, right? Both of them brought in things that you could use in that. But a big part of what we needed to see was your ability to paraphrase, in your own words, information from those sources. So one, you have to select ideas, and then you also have to, you have to develop them. You You have to show that you can understand them. So some people didn't have enough information from the sources that we used. The other thing, though, that I was looking for is, what do you take away from this? That is, we want to hear your interpretation, right? Your views on what these sources means. I want to see what you understand from the different sources, right? So I want to see you making meaning from the things that we have learned. So what some people did is they just I want to use black. They just wanted to kind of give their own opinion on what online video platforms are. This is how they saw online, but they didn't really mention, it didn't connect it very well to what the different sources it had. So we really need to see both. I want to see you not just giving your ideas, but giving ideas that come from the sources we have learned in class so far. At the same time, you can't just share information from the sources. A few students, they just kind of listed ideas that came from here or here, 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 but they didn't do a good job of putting their own understanding of it too. So we need to see both sides of that. One, clearly refer to the sources we have learned in the class, right? The takeaways from the course. You are taking a course on online video. I want to hear what you're learning from the course, not just what you think in general. But at the same time, I need to see the meaning that you yourself can make from these sources. So you can't just list information given. You have to show your interpretation. You have to show what it means for you. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is having a good, clear focus for your coursework. That is, there needs to be a central message that you're building off of, right? I want to see, okay, what's your main takeaway, right? I think a lot of people didn't really get this, or not a lot, some people. What's your main takeaway? That is, you have to build, a message, right? An idea or a central idea from the unit, related to the topic that you're supposed to refer to, that you can build upon. And let me show you now a couple good examples of this that I saw in your responses. Here, looking at this, we can see here, we start with a clear message, right? I believe most Chinese platforms are trying to build an integrated community, right? So we have kind of a central message here. The platforms are doing this, right? And they explain that a little bit, and then they go to the sources here. Sociality is one of the motivations for using Douyin. And then they talk about, I don't know how to say this one, but what it does, have these things, and again, we mentioned the source here, and then same with this. So we had one idea to build an integrated community, and then we connect that to different sources. We have Lu and Lu, 2019, and here we talk about sociality, we talk about virtual relationships, right? Again, thanks from Lu and Lu related to building a community. And then we follow that up with Wang and Lobato, right? Another source. And here we talk about how they talk about Ichi does this by e-lending and online shopping. And they said the society-like package, and they're quoting the authors there. And then they also mention another idea, part of the state, right? So another form of community. And then it finishes up here with compared with American online platforms, this is a relatively unique feature. So again, talking about how this is specific to China, right? And again, that was mentioned up here when they brought that up. So here we have a strong main takeaway that's reflected through the different sources that we've used in a nice package. Okay, I hope that helps you see, one, kind of what I'm looking for in these courseworks. I want you to show your main takeaways from the sources, the things that you have learned in course, so you can demonstrate the meaning that you are making in the course. That's the part of the response that I wanted to share with you. And of course, I also wanted to share with you a little bit about how I make videos, how these come together. Maybe we can talk about it later, but I'm curious what you think about those techniques that I used to show you things from the iPad, from the responses that other students have. It was kind of mostly to show you. I don't know how effective it was. I hope this video is at least effective in showing you lots of things that can be done in video, as well as helping you with the courseworks that you work on. Okay, I'll see you guys in class soon. Thanks.